Well, we almost made it. We almost made it through a whole fire season without massive wildfires raging across our state and the entire West Coast. Fires that destroyed millions of acres, as well as homes and properties across the West. Even worse, at least 40 people lost their lives. Countless animals, both wild and domesticated, also perished in these fires. In Okanogan and Douglas counties, as well as on the Colville Reservation, the Cold Springs and Pearl Hill fires destroyed nearly 400,000 acres and more than 80 homes, according to King 5. According to Hillary Franz, Washington's Commissioner of Public Lands, that's more than double last year's total acreage that burned, and that's a quote. And that's just in a month. It also cost the poor Highland family their 1-year-old son, Yuri, as well as an unborn child. Jake and Jamie Highland also suffered third-degree burns trying to escape the blaze and were in critical condition after being airlifted to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. They are recovering and expected to survive, but their loss is heartbreaking, and I think I can speak for everyone in North Central Washington when I say they are in our thoughts and our prayers. I went up to Bridgeport and Malott myself recently and spoke with a few homeowners and recorded drone footage of the aftermath. What always strikes me about seeing the aftermath of wildfires like these is how massively scary it would be to see the inferno coming towards you, and how massively brave the men and women who fight these wildland fires are. What also struck me about this round of fires is how quickly conspiracy theorists jumped into the breach to blame the fires on political rivals. After the break, we're going to take a deeper look into how misinformation played a role in this fire season and why that's a big problem. So stay tuned. I'm Dominick Bonny, and this is Common Sense. These days, it can be hard to trust the media. What's true, what's fake, and who is behind the message? I'm a freelance journalist and videographer who has spent years studying the media. Now I'm taking a look at what local, regional, and national news stories mean to us here in North Central Washington. I'm Dominick Bonny, and this is Common Sense.
Visit conservation.
Oh, great. Another one of those PUD rebate commercials. Like they're really gonna give you money to buy energy-efficient products.
No, it's real.
There's gotta be a catch. I mean, there's always a catch with these things.
Okay, it's real.
Right? It can't be real.
Trust me, it is so real.
The rebates are real. Visit conservationmakesense.org to learn more.
Sign me up.
Martin Scott Winery has a fantastic view overlooking the Columbia River to Mission Ridge and beyond. See and taste for yourself the magic of Martin Scott wines. Sharing the view just south of Martin Scott is Bianchi Vineyards. Doug and Kim make you feel right at home at Bianchi Vineyards and offer new varietals you won't find anywhere else. Across the river and against the rock cliffs west of Malaga is Malaga Springs Winery. This beautiful winery can be described as an oasis in the desert. Enjoy an afternoon at Malaga Springs Winery.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa today.
While it may be hard to resist those big brown eyes and pleading face, many people aren't aware that people food can be dangerous to pets. And it's not just because of the added weight gain. Some foods are downright dangerous, including chocolate. For a detailed list of dangerous foods, go online to pawsandclawsvh.com. If you suspect your pet has eaten something dangerous, please call Dr. Shauna Baez and her staff at 888-PAWS, as your pet's health is important to us.
After wildfires started up and down the West Coast in September, flames weren't the only thing raging. Thanks to social media, misinformation and conspiracy theories about how the fires started spread as fast as the fires themselves. It got so bad that authorities up and down the West Coast went online and held press conferences to try and fight the misinformation. In this post from the Douglas County Sheriff's Department in Oregon, officials write, "Remember when we said to follow official sources only? Remember when we said rumors like this make an already difficult incident even harder? Rumors spread just like wildfire, and now our 911 dispatchers and professional staff are being overrun with requests for information and inquiries on an untrue rumor that 6 Antifa members have been arrested for setting fires in Douglas County. They go on to say, do your part. Stop spreading rumors. But it's not just Antifa that took the blame. Medford Police Department in Oregon posted a similar warning on Facebook in mid-September, asking people to stop spreading rumors and sharing a doctored Facebook post made to look like something the Medford PD themselves put out. Whoever is responsible for creating what is clearly a piece of misinformation should be held accountable, and hopefully they are. But in the meantime, they forced Medford police to spend precious time and resources debunking misinformation instead of the more important work of fighting fires and managing incidents. While not all conspiracy theories are harmful, sometimes they can be incredibly costly to society. When fire investigators and emergency personnel are forced to waste time fielding calls and questions from concerned but misinformed members of the public, that means their attention is diverted from the very important work of fighting fires and getting to the bottom of what caused them. Here's an interesting and informative chart compiled by an American graduate student named Abby Richards, who uses social media to bust conspiracy theories. In the chart, she categorizes conspiracy theories from the least harmful and most based in reality at the bottom to the most harmful and least based in reality right at the top. At the bottom, you have real conspiracy theories like the MK Ultra program, which didn't work but did happen, to stuff like Holocaust denial and Antifa starting wildfires right at the top, past the anti-Semitic point of no return. That's the stuff that is bad for society because it leads people to do irrational and sometimes violent things, like setting up checkpoints in active fire areas and screening people using implied or even overt threats of violence. Not only does this cause civil unrest, but those types of behaviors can slow emergency response times by fire personnel and divert law enforcement's attention when they have more important things to do. But rather than focusing on those who have made fire relief efforts harder, in this episode, I'd like to focus on people who have made themselves useful during times of crisis. People like my friend, Mary Big Bull Lewis, who saw a need and decided to step up and help those who lost nearly everything to the Pearl Hill and Cold Springs fires. After she saw those fires rip through the dry grasslands of the Colville Reservation, she reached out to some folks and organized caravans of supplies, gift cards, gas cards, and money to help folks who had lost their homes, livestock, and more. Some people were left with nothing more than the clothes on their backs and whatever they could grab on the way out. I met up with Mary and asked her why she decided to get involved and what the needs are now.
I think that it's important to understand that even though the fires are contained and they're out, there's still many, many years of recovery efforts that need to be made. This is just the beginning. We've barely touched the surface, so we need to stay diligent and keep that in the forefront of our minds to help. When the fires broke out on September 6th, it was on a Sunday at like 9:30 at night. I had heard about it that following Monday, and there's a call to action of like what's being done to help people immediately. So I decided to start gathering donations and trying to coordinate with local organizations to see what we could do to partner and also to bring the community together to help. So we started gathering donations at our shop, which is our digital design and Wenatchee wear, that Monday, and then was like, okay, where do we take them? I put out a call in one of our social media groups to people on the reservation as far as what's being done, how can we get these donations to people that are in need, and I came in contact with Faith Zackerly. She is the kind of the lead of the River Warrior Society. So her and another gal, Twali, are the main contacts for the River Warrior Society that have been on the ground since day one, helping people in need and get them the necessities, toiletries, food, water, gas cards, to the people that were evacuated, that had lost everything. And we had come in contact with people that were then housed down here in Wenatchee at the local hotels. So we were in contact with them, trying to get them gas cards, or if they needed cell phone cards because their data was running out. They only had the clothes on their backs and were washing their clothing in the bathtubs at the hotels because they didn't have a change of clothes. So we were then requesting like Walmart gift cards or somewhere like that that they could buy food if they needed, as well as, clothing items that they needed for their kids. Many of the families I helped down here had 3 to 4 young children with them, and again, they didn't have any clothes but the items on their backs. I've been up there, I think 4 or 5 times now, just taking carloads of donations up, hand delivering gift cards to families. This last one, our main focus was to help this single dad who's a college student. He's 20, and he has 2 young daughters, 1 and 3. They're living in the hotel still. They don't have a place to go. He lost his entire home, his fencing for his livestock. Thankfully, his livestock were saved, but he's had to figure out what to do now.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a fence to contain them and to manage them. But we were able to purchase some winter clothing, necessities, toiletries, Walmart gift cards, some food items to drop off directly to them.
Good.
And the River Warrior Society has also began the Beautiful Blessings program that will pair organizations or individuals with a family to specifically give them what they need and what they're requesting.
And how can people get involved with that?
So they can email Faith or Twali. It's River Warrior Society 1, the number 1, @gmail.com. And that's going to connect them directly with them. And they have spreadsheets put together to help pair people or organizations with the families to then buy the necessities and what they need. While that's important, one of the main things is we do need to focus on getting these people into housing. Like I mentioned, there are still several families in hotels or living with family members. And that can become kind of a strain, definitely living in a hotel. So we're trying to coordinate with other organizations to help get housing units there, like tiny homes, or if there's any mobile homes that can be transferred up there. The best way to get that effort moving is to contact the River Warrior Society.
Facing a winter in Okanagan County or on the Colville Reservation in a camp trailer or packed in with family members is a daunting prospect. So if you or anyone you know can help keep these families warm this winter, please contact the River Warrior Society. That email one more time is riverwarriorsociety1@gmail.com.
Merry Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in North Central Washington since 1998. Merry Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Merry Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Merry Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around North Central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
Doghouse Motorsports just won Best Motorsports Store for the 7th year in a row. Is it the great facility? Is it the fantastic products? Or is it?
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Tamer.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Glenn.
Hi, I'm Todd.
I'm Jeff.
And this is the Doghouse Service Team.
Hi, I'm Dee.
And I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Kathy.
Come on in and experience the Doghouse.
Are you in the doghouse?
I'm Dr. Wayne Latimer. I'm a chiropractic physician. I have postgraduate certifications in both whiplash, trauma, and rehab, as well as sports medicine. The location is great. The light and the visibility, the 17-foot ceilings are fantastic. You can go into a lot of clinics, and it's very clinical. People really like the spa environment, so my whole premise was take a spa environment, add the very serious rehab, and give people an enjoyable way to get better over time.
Highlander Grill and Golf Course is known as one of the finest wedding venues in the Wenatchee area. You do not have to be a member to come to Highlander. Highlander Highlander Golf Course offers a first-class backdrop for your wedding day. Our friendly professional staff will ensure your wedding and reception is picture perfect, from every moment leading up to the I do's to when the lights go down at the end of your reception. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
While the fires that filled our skies with smoke are pretty much mopped up at the time of this recording, we are still dealing with the ongoing COVID crisis and its economic impacts. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the unemployment rate for the month of September was 8.4%. In May, it was 13.3%, and in March, it was as high as 14.7%. Simply put, people are struggling. Locally, we saw organizations like Serve Wenatchee Valley and others step up to help fill the gaps with drive-through food banks. Link Transit partnered with Serve Wenatchee and other local service organizations to stuff the bus with food and essential items that were then distributed across the region to those with the most need. But the need is still great, and even with food banks, some people are still struggling to make ends meet and put food on the table. That's where resources like the Little Essentials Pantry at the First United Methodist Church here in Wenatchee come in. A team of 9 people, including church staff and dedicated volunteers, make sure that each weekday their Little Essentials Pantry is stocked with food like cereal, canned goods, applesauce, crackers, and other things that will keep rumbling bellies full. I stopped by this week and spoke with Lori Flarity-White, the volunteer who proposed the idea, and asked her about the project.
I didn't tell you that. My family was food insecure. Oh, really? So that's probably why I'm interested in this. Yeah, sure. I qualified for free lunch all the way through 9th grade. Wow. And then when my mother got a job in 10th grade, then I got reduced lunch because she got a job. And so we started it at the very beginning of June.
And how, could you ballpark how much food you've given away?
Oh my gosh, I estimate probably 50,000 meals. Wow. Yeah, and that's almost 4 months.
So you said it's really getting used here at the end of the month.
Yes, the end of the month, and also even the beginning, because I found out in September, because we kept having people come, and so I have a couple of friends that get EBT, and they said they did not get it till September 4th, I believe. It was a Friday, the first Friday, they did not get their EBT. So all of that week was really very busy too.
So this is a long-term project?
Yeah, we figure at least a year,
okay, maybe
longer, until people get back on their feet.
And have you heard from anybody who has taken advantage of this?
Oh yes, I just got messaged by 2 people this weekend who said they found out on Facebook, and it helped them get through the week. Every week they come. Our whole idea was just to provide them with 1 or 2 meals, not the whole like a food bank. We're supposed to be supplemental to the food bank.
Sure.
Where we're helping them get through the week, but we're not giving a whole week's worth of food. Right. That was our idea anyway, just to, or maybe even snacks for your children or cereal. Sure. But it kind of, sometimes we do have people who take more, and we have some people who just take a little.
And do you have people donate daily?
Yeah, yes, daily. Yep.
It's just people who are grabbing extra stuff at the grocery store. And
usually, occasionally, we will have people who will shop entirely just for this.
Wow.
Yeah, they will send me a message, what do you need? And I give them a short list. We keep a list in there, too, of what we need. I got a call last weekend, and people responded. Wow. And so this is our quarantine.
Oh, okay.
And this is the food that's all okay to get. And cereal is one of our biggest things that people love. I usually try to put something like milk in there with it, because it's easy to eat and it tends to go fast. Things like cleaning products, they really need. And baby food, believe it or not, we do get a lot of demand for that. Macaroni and cheese always goes well. And paired with tuna, you can have a meal. a dinner.
And so how can people help?
They can help by donating food at any of these pantries or supplies. And they can also send money, and just make sure they say it's for the little essential pantry of that church. And if there's an organization that would like to have one at any kind of organization, we will help them set it up.
It's inspiring to see grassroots efforts like these become a reality because of the passion and dedication of individuals like Lori and Mary. It's not easy creating order out of chaos. Another individual who impressed me recently is Mr. Mark Wavra, an art teacher at Eastmont High School in East Wenatchee. He teaches ceramics, so you'd think he'd be dead in the water when it comes to online learning. How do you teach such a hands-on skill over Zoom? How do you teach students to shape and create and mold with their hands without showing them up close and personal? Well, Mr. Wavra applied some of his famous creativity to the problem and came up with some interesting solutions.
It's so important. I don't think you can put a price on putting something in somebody's hands that is going to allow them to be expressive. It's not behind glass. It's something that they can put their hands on and work with. A student just brought this to me yesterday afternoon to be fired, and this is something that he just made at home. This is so affirming to me because this has nothing to do with the computer. This is his hands, working with clay three-dimensionally, very tactile. So we've been getting clay out to kids and some rudimentary tools. And along with that, we've also been getting some drawing supplies out. The drawing supplies are great. Like each kit that we put together, it's about $7 or $8 of material in here because it has charcoal pencils, charcoal pencil sharpener. I even made rulers. I didn't know what my classes were gonna be, so I couldn't put in my art order. So I didn't get my art order in until probably, the middle of August. And so the materials couldn't get here until, end of August, beginning of September. And we missed the day that everybody came to get their textbooks. So it's like, oh man, I missed it by 2 days. So I had to come back. So they were available there. And then, it was awesome, the Gear Up guys. So we have Scott Womack and Matthew Banks. They said, hey, let me help out. What can we do to help? And I was like, I tell you what you can do to help. Take these things to people who can't get here to the school. And so we had these two, NC2A Division I linebacker looking guys carrying art materials to people's houses. It was the best. It was the best. Those guys are the best. The Gear Up dudes figured out, some projects that people can do just with things in the home. I mean, if they're here, we have the pottery wheels, we have tabletops, we have all kinds of fancy tools, but at home, if they're working on projects, it has to be, using just household items, forks, spoons. We do use bottles for rolling pins, balls like soccer balls, softballs, as molds to do bowls and things on. A lot of it. It's, you can do quite a bit. I mean, you think about 10,000 years ago, and people have been making this stuff for tens of thousands of years, multiple. I don't think people are there, Did Mayans have pottery wheels? Did the ancient Greeks? No, a lot of them didn't. A lot of it was just hand building techniques. There's a really cool video on the web, and I saw it on a VHS tape when I was a young man, showing my age there. It's Maria, potter of the San Ildefonso, Native American woman who makes the most beautiful coil pots. I mean, you would never know. Like they are gorgeous. The Navajo pottery is just, it's amazing to look at. All hand done, all hand done. It's quite a few years of skill and everything, and some of these people are just starting out, but there's quite a bit that you can do without the fancy tools, and it's cool to see how much you can do with how little if you just put your mind to it and your hands. This is an old chrome cart that we have repurposed to turn into a cabinet for turning in pottery to be fired. And so there it is. We have a couple in here that came in today. And these guys I take right inside. You want to follow me in?
Sure.
These guys come into the kiln, and this guy I'm going to fire to 1,850 degrees.
Stories like these are reminders that we don't have to wait for instructions from on high to take action and positively impact our communities and each other. We don't need authority figures from Washington, D.C. or Olympia to do good. Find a need, do a good deed. It's as simple as that. And if you're looking for quality organizations to support other than the River Warrior Society and the Little Essentials Pantry, check out Serve Wenatchee Valley and the Community Foundation of North Central Washington. Those are both quality organizations that do great work in our region. The fact is that in times of crisis, people are the same as they always were, just more so. If someone was selfish, petty, and mean before the pandemic, they're probably more selfish, petty, and mean now. If someone was generous, kind, and altruistic before COVID, they're probably more generous, kind, and altruistic now. But we can all change. Gandhi said, "Be the change that you wish to see in the world." And that's why I chose to focus on Mary, Mark, and Lori this week. They are modeling the behaviors that we should all strive for: selflessness, empathy, compassion, kindness, strength, and courage. To build more equitable and peaceful communities, it's just common sense to study, celebrate, and emulate folks like Lori Flarity-White, Mary Big Bull Lewis, and Mr. Mark Wavra. Join us next time as we take a look at COVID's impact on North Central Washington and ask questions like, why is this virus disproportionately affecting our Latinx and Hispanic populations, and what's it costing us? I'm Dominick Bonny, and this is Common Sense.
When Mike leaves town, it's a little scary. You never know who might be outside. But we feel safer inside knowing our home is being monitored by a local company. I can check our alarm from just about anywhere. So when we get home, I know it's safe.
Protect your family and save money with a local company. Switch your current security monitoring to Guardian Services from LocalTel. Call Guardian Security from LocalTel now or visit localtel.net to learn more.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
Green Motion e-bikes have rolled into Wenatchee. We've got fun, affordable e-bikes for the whole family. Portable e-bikes that fit right in the trunk of your car. Fat tire mountain bikes plus unique vintage style bikes you won't find anywhere else. Get some exercise with pedal assist or just cruise up to 20 miles per hour with the throttle. Starting under $1,000, Green Motion e-bikes are affordable fun for the whole family. Green Motion e-bikes is located right downtown on the corner of Palouse and Wenatchee Avenue.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellingson here from Live It Up. Join us every week as we answer your questions on health, wealth, and relationships.
We're all about you creating a life that you love, so tune in to Live It Up.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to NCWLIFE.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@NCWLIFE.com or call 888-2020.